Okay, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate everybody that is here to share. It means so much, and everybody that has joined. I know that health subjects are sometimes, hold on, let me spotlight. Okay. Health are sometimes so personal that it's hard to share what you've been through. So it really does mean a lot because we know there's so many people out there that really are looking and haven't been able to find help. And maybe they have tools such as Western medicine that's helping them somewhat, but we are here to help with natural answers or helps. And so a little bit about me, I am Tammy Peterson. For those of y'all that do not know, I have been with Soul Naturals for almost 10 years. A little bit about my backstory. I come from a place of having great insurance and great medications. And every time my nose ran, I was put on a new medication and never knew why I was constantly having stomach aches or why I was constantly just sick. And fast forward to when I was older and still was having a lot of issues that now was turning into emotional issues, hormonal issues. I ended up a mother with two small boys, and I didn't have my children until my 30s and still had not figured out my health problems, but wanted to be a good mom and wanted to be a good wife, but I was just a hot crying mess and just couldn't figure out why. So I started down a health journey, started going to natural doctors, started taking natural supplements, and I did try Western medicine. Every time I'd find a regular doctor, they would say, we don't know what's wrong with you, but here, try this antidepressant. So I did. I tried that. For me, it was not a tool that worked. For me, it was a tool that made me much worse and caused other problems. And so I tried to find other things, which 15 years ago, there wasn't a ton out there. I had to search myself. So a lot of the earthy, crunchy doctors helped me somewhat. I was taking probably 25, 30, 40 pills a day of natural stuff. It was not all plant-based, though, I will just tell you that. And then entered my bestie who had found Soul Naturals. And she started with Soul Naturals almost right at the beginning. And her issue, which I will share with you in a little bit, was fibromyalgia. It was pain and inflammation. And Soul Naturals helped her. And she and I had tried to help each other over the years, but this was the first thing. And I went out there to see her and she's like, I think you need to try this. I tried it. And for me and my anxiety, my horrible anxiety and panic and depression, I felt better within the day. That is not everybody's experience. I'll just say that, especially if it's a pain and inflammation issue. But for me, the next day I felt better. So I started taking Soul. I became a specialist right there. So that's a little bit about my experience over the years. I'll tell you, I have helped people with all sorts of things. With my family specifically, I'll name some of the stuff I've helped them with. Lowered my husband's cholesterol by 35 points in like 3 to 4 months. Helped one son that had issues with ticking and anxiety. One son that had issues with OCD. Helped my mom with fibromyalgia. I will tell you that experience. My aunt with diabetes dropped her numbers considerably. You name it, I have seen someone that I love helped, or one of my clients helped. So anything that you're struggling with, please let us know, because Soul Naturals are plants. Every product has combinations. It's not just one product, you guys. It is a packet of products, a packet of plants that are full of products combined to work together to help you. Every single product has something for your mind and your body. That means it's going to help with your emotional concerns and your physical, because really you can't separate them. They go together. If you are in pain, you're going to be an emotional wreck. If you're an emotional wreck, a lot of times you're going to be in pain. It just like, what causes what? If you don't sleep, you're in pain. If you're in pain, you don't sleep. So you have to address the mind and the body. So with that being said, we're going to talk to Val. Val has been with Soul from before the beginning. And so that's almost 11 years now. So Val's going to talk to us about adaptogens, what are adaptogens, and understanding Soul a little better. In the end, we're going to bring Val back up, and she's going to help us with a package that she absolutely loves and has had so much success with. Okay, let me spotlight you and take it away, Val.
Hey, thank you, Tammy. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Valerie Bledsoe, and I am a master herbalist, and I have been in the alternative health field for 44 years. And I also sit on the product formulation boards for the company. So I do understand what goes into putting these products together, our thought process as I'm working with Greg and Blake and Dr. Allison as we're putting these formulas together. So what makes Soul so special that after all these years being in the field, that I would move all my clients towards using these products for their foundation? It's simple. Adaptogens. Adaptogens are in every single formula. Now, adaptogens, when we first started talking about them with Soul, most people had never heard of them. They're starting to become a little more commonplace now. And even every once in a while, I actually saw a mattress commercial where they were saying it had adaptogenic properties. So to better understand what that means, let me explain. Adaptogens are a certain classification of plants. There's specific that these have to be safe for all ages, whether I'm using them for one of my grandchildren, when my daughter's pregnant with them, all the way up to when my grandmother was 101 years old. Absolutely no concerns. There is no toxicity issue with these, so there's no concerns there either. And what they do is they help bring the body into balance, or otherwise it helps it adapt to stressful situations. Now, it's very important that our body is able to adapt and go back and forth because, if we have to jump out of the way because a car is speeding down the road toward us, we need our body to respond and be able to do that. But once we get safe, we need to also be able to relax and come back out of that. So many people these days are so exposed to whether it's environmental toxins, all the electronics, whether it's because we have such busy schedules, if it's because we don't eat well, but our body gets stuck. It's like that accelerator gets stuck, whether it's on the vehicle or yourself, and you just can't calm down. Adaptogens help us to self-regulate and bring the body into balance. And because we have an adaptogen in every single formula, it means no matter which formula you choose to start with, you're going to get those benefits. Now, they have another component that's really neat too, and that is it makes us feel better mentally and emotionally. So much so that one of the first results I started seeing with clients is I set them up on a program, they'd walk out the door of my shop, and when I would follow up on them, they were still on their program because they started feeling better, just like Tammy talked about, so quickly mentally that they didn't want and couldn't even consider the idea of not staying on their program because they wanted to keep that feeling within themselves, which meant as they stayed on the program, the longer and more consistent they were, the more results we saw. Soul has also made it a goal to make it very simple to understand the product line. We have 4 simple colors that you'll see all the products are tied to. One is the balance category. Balanced category products are all green. And they really are helping the body to, there's more adaptogens in the balanced products, but it also helps the body to really normalize. So if someone comes to me because they have a hyperthyroid or a hypothyroid, it doesn't matter. The adaptogens will help to bring it into balance or help it to normalize. And then we have the lift category. That's going to be our red category. So it's help lifting up actions of the body that may be just too exhausted to function anymore. So maybe it's our digestive system. The cinnamate is in the red category, and it helps lift up the digestive system to where it can function better. It also has herbs in it that help to balance the blood sugar. So again, lifting up. We've got another formula that helps to bring up connection for the brain. So that kind of gets you the idea, and that would be in the red formula. In the calm category, which is all blue, just think of it as like a nice, soothing, restful those type of products are going to like maybe soothe digestion, help soothe your brains for sleeping, help soothe just overwhelm as it hits the system, or an injury, helping to soothe that and calm that down. And our final category is clarify, which is the yellow category. And think of that as helping things to flow, or like with glasses, helping to bring things into focus. It's helping to filter, whether it's supporting circulatory, the lymphatics, urinary, any of those things. We're helping the flow so that nutrition and toxins and everything can connect and have conversations and help the body to propel forward with its health. So simple basics to get you started to understanding salt.
Thank you, my friend. I love that because it can be overwhelming, and that just brings it down to an understandable level. I like all four of them, honestly. I need all four of those categories in my life, as I think the rest of us think we do too. Okay, so we're going to talk to Helen first, you guys, and Helen is going to give us two experiences today. First of all, she's going to talk about her anxiety, which that's awesome because a lot of us have anxiety. And then we're going to talk about her dad after that. So Helen, take it away. I think you can unmute yourself.
Here I am. Hi there. My name is Helen. And like Tammy said, I'm going to speak to you today about a little bit about my wonderful anxiety. When I was younger, I was always raised to be very independent and do things on my own. But unfortunately, due to like a traumatic injury that I had when I was 21, I ended up being at home in bed, very injured, not able to move as well anymore, and dependent on other people. It caused me already then to have very severe anxiety. Never had it in my life, but now I was severely depressed and I had very strong anxiety. I wasn't getting any sleep. So once my injury healed, I fought through it. I'm like, no, I'm going to be fine. I don't need anything. I'm good. But unfortunately, a few years after that, I had another injury, and that injury caused severe clinical depression. They brought me to doctors. They had to bring me to doctors, and they put me on a whole lot of medication, and all that medication just made me feel horrendous. I was feeling sluggish. I couldn't move even more. I was gaining a lot of weight. I just wasn't feeling myself. And antidepressants and anxiety medications, sometimes you do need to take them. I do believe it. But it just, for me, I was feeling horrible. So after 2 years of that, I didn't want to take anymore. I ended up still struggling, always in pain, because I do have many injuries still that I'm dealing with, but I'm always in pain. So I was very inflamed, never sleeping. That when COVID hit, I was down to 2-3 hours of sleep, and I was a tremendous mess. I was always very high strung, very nervous, very, like, it didn't take much for me to snap. That was it. So I had just met Tammy 3 years ago, just when COVID started, pretty much. And I'm like, all right, so we're going to have my new friend here that she just keeps talking about this drink stuff, whatever. I don't want it. But then I said, okay, after almost a year, I said, Tammy, we need to talk. I can't do this anymore. I'm a mess. I need to sleep. Don't give me any other stuff. I don't want anything else. I just want sleep. I want calm sleep. If you can help me get 4 hours of sleep a night, I will be happy. That should calm me down. That should help my anxiety. And that's how it always ends up being. You just deny that you're in this anxiety and you just don't want to deal with it. I'm like, no, I don't have it. This is just one little problem. Well, I think like Valerie was saying before, once one thing, gets better, you're like, oh, well, I'm finally sleeping. This makes me feel good. What else can I do to make myself feel better? I want to try something else. So just taking the Bertazymes and the Renew at night, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this every night. I'm going to take it at night and I'm going to make myself do it. And that's it. I was actually getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep, which was miraculous for me. And it didn't start making me feel a little bit better, but I'm like, you know what? I know I need to do something else besides that because I need to have something. And, let me try the vital stuff. Fine, I gave in to the earthy, crunchy lady. Just give me the drinks. I don't care. Just give me something. But you know what? I love it. I just don't see myself without it every morning. I wake up, I drink a nice big glass with my vital of water, and have my energy for the day. It gets me started. My body actually almost craves it in the morning, like, oh, I need this. Like a glass of water won't do. I need this in the morning. And I feel good. My immune system is up a lot better than it was years ago because I used to be, like Tammy said, sneezing, coughing, whatever, just take medicine, just take antibiotics. I haven't, now that I think about it, I haven't been on any cold medicine or anything for like almost 2 3 years 2 years at this point. I've been doing well. My immune system is slowly building up. I'm feeling better. um that was with the vital. I did add on adaptables. I take those every day too. I feel much calmer. I get my anxiety attacks every once in a while, but they're a lot rarer than they were before. They were always a lot more. They would last me almost hours. And now I don't. If it's just, oh, okay, I'm a little nervous, let me just, you know what? I carry some Renew with me in a bottle of water. I'll shake it, I'll drink it. I'm feeling better. I'll have some adaptables if I have any in my bag. I'll carry that with me. I feel good. So I don't feel like I have to be dependent on medication anymore for this. I do acknowledge that I do have issues. I still have my depression, but it's not as bad as it was before. I do have anxiety, but I'm more in control of it. I do get my restful sleep, which I'm very happy about. And I thank the crunchy lady for helping me with that. So for that, yes, I thank you very much.
Are welcome. I do miss that you're not awake as much because I could literally text her at any time and she would respond because she
I
was
was responded like,
okay,
yeah,
can we hear about your dad and his sugar issues? This is going to be, you guys, if you do not know Luigi, he is just, I love him.
I made my dad an internet celebrity. It's really fun. Uh, yes, he's a tailor. My dad has been a tailor his whole life. And he had always had sugar problems. It runs in the family. Oh, my parents had it, so I'm bound to get diabetes. I'm like, okay, Dad, really? We could try to. No, I don't care. Whatever. There was always a bowl of sugar, yeah, candy on the table at my grandmother's house. We were so used to that. So my dad had diabetes for many, many years. Never really took care of it. He'd take medicine, and that was it. When COVID started, actually 2 months before, in December of 2019, he retired. So my mom was going to say, don't worry about it. I'm going to be on top of this. I'm going to make sure his sugar level goes down. So first year, they figured they were exercising every day, vegetables, eating right, doing everything. At the end of the year, they went to their doctor and he tested his blood sugar, and it was odd. Instead of going down, his sugar level went from a 7 to an 8. But how is this possible? My mom's like, it's impossible. He doesn't go out without me. He doesn't eat any junk food. Why is this happening? So I said, well, you know what? I was talking with Tammy about it, and we said, let's just try to give him something. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? He has to go back in 3 months anyway. And my mom goes, anything, because I don't want to give him insulin. They want to give him injections. I said, all right, let's not reach that point yet. Let's try something. Tell the doctor 3 months. Just give us 3 months. Well, sure enough, we put him on Cinemate in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the morning he would take Power Chi, which right now he's taking the SoulFit GP, which is also, it's Power Chi with grains of paradise in it. So it's actually even better for your sugar level. And it helps to moderate your sugar, moderate is the word? I think that's the word. But it does help. And the Cinemate in the afternoon, cinnamon actually is very good. We always knew that, to help lower your blood sugar too, to regulate it. But that is one of those where you're like, what is these vitamins? I don't want to take no vitamins. I don't want to drink anything. And we're like, how do we trick him into? So we tricked him into drinking it. We were like, Daddy, I bought you a box of chocolate milk. it's really good. It's chocolate. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, we'll make it for you. So we would make him, and every night my mom would trick him. This is the only chocolate you're gonna get. Okay. Well, every day having his chocolate milk, he's so used to it. Like 7 o'clock, I'm gonna have my chocolate milk. I'm gonna have my latte, whatever, with a little bit of milk. He mixes it with milk. He does it himself. Um, doesn't really know what it's for. Doesn't really ask what it's for. Well, sure enough, after 3 months, the doctor goes and checks him, and he goes from an 8, and he goes down a couple of clicks. His sugar level went down. Nothing else has changed, mind you. Still on the same medication, still on a very healthy diet, still exercising, but his sugar level went down. And now the doctor's like, well, this is a fluke. Come back in 3 months, we'll check again. Sure enough, we go back 3 months later. It's just another click down, but it's going down. And the doctor was like really amazed by this, but he's like, are you doubling your medicine? And she goes, no. Well, my mom's like, I'm not going to screw around with his medicine. This is what you gave him. This is what he's going to take. But in addition, we're doing this and this. And she showed him the PDF, actually, where I had it here. So she showed him the PDF of the Cinemate and of the power cheat. She's like, this is what he's taking. And the doctor's like, that's amazing. Okay, it's working. If you can keep it up, keep it up. We won't put him on insulin yet, but he's old. So they're very skeptical, but at the same time, the doctor was skeptical about it, but at the same time, he's like, you know what? If it's not really broke, let's not fix it. Let's not do anything. We'll leave it alone. So they're still pleasantly surprised. Now it's a year and a half, and his sugar level is still at that border, but it's not skyrocketing like it was before. And it's not at that point where he has to be on insulin and all that. He's good with just his chocolate milk and in his mind. I mean, if it works, if you got to tell him that, then you got to tell him, but it works. So
I love that. That has definitely been something that I have seen Soul help with, that almost the most. Sugar balance, pain and inflammation. And I am still going to talk about my mom's fibromyalgia, but let's go ahead. Thank you, Helen, for that. And tell Daddy Luigi, thank you for letting us share as well. Okay, so let's go to Gwen. Would you tell us how Soul has helped with your hormones? This is an important one for a lot of us gals. Everybody's always asking us. So tell us how it helped with that, pretty please.
Sure. I'm Gwen, and for 18 years, I took thyroid medication because I was diagnosed with hypothyroid or low thyroid function shortly after the birth of my first child. And I was a tired new mom. So when the doctor said, your thyroid feels enlarged, let's do blood work. And he came back and said, yes, it's enlarged. You need this medicine. I was like, fine. I just took it, whatever, just make me feel better. I got a baby to take care of. So I didn't, ever even look into alternatives. But as I got older, and I had a second child, and, I was on this medication, but I knew I needed help with my thyroid. I mean, I didn't think I could just stop. I didn't want to. So eventually, after 18 years, I went to my doctor and asked if she could help me to get off of it little by little or whatever. And she wasn't real thrilled about it. She helped me a little bit, but I eventually switched doctors and was able to lower my dose, test, it was fine, lower it again, test, it was fine. Eventually I got off of it entirely. And then a few months after I continued it entirely, to a ranking endocrinologist and said, you tell me if I'm okay not taking any medication for my thyroid. So, sorry, my dog is whining. So she did an ultrasound of my thyroid, and she did a full CBC. I'll let her out. Go on. She did a full, blood work on me, blood panel. And the ultrasound showed a very slight enlargement of my thyroid, but not even enough of an enlargement that I would be diagnosed with anything, like not even Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid disorder. But she said, let's wait until we get the blood work before I say definitively that you're good. So when my blood work came in, she said, you know, your thyroid is fine. My TSH, T4 and T3 levels are all normal. I had no symptoms, of course. And she was surprised, but she said, you know, I mean, the proof is here. Your thyroid is functioning fine. I would not diagnose you with anything at this point. So now that's been 6 years. I've been off medication for 6 years. I did have blood work about 3 years ago, just as a follow-up, just to see if everything was still good. And yeah, everything was still completely normal, and I still have no symptoms. I'm still fine. My thyroid is still functioning normally. So I was able to discontinue my thyroid medication. And so what I did, I found, and this is all because when I was introduced to Soul, I found a product called Soul Maca. And maca is a plant that helps to regulate your hormones, including your thyroid hormone. And Soul Maca XD has 3 types of maca in it: red, yellow, and black. And those products, those types of maca work together to regulate various hormones in your body. And one of the products, ingredients, I should say, in maca XD is cordyceps. And that is a fungus that has been used in Chinese medicine for over 200 years. And it promotes vitality, energy, and endurance, as well as cardiovascular, respiratory, and adrenal health. So maca really does, that product Maca XD is really good for, like all of Soul's products, our mind and our bodies. And I know I won't be without it now that I know it's helping my hormones stay balanced. And honestly, I can't say that this is for sure related to the maca, but I think it is. I've been in perimenopause for over a year now, and I haven't had any kind of symptoms. No night sweats, nothing. It's like I don't even, it's like, am I really in perimenopause? I have no symptoms at all. So I'm not going to stop the maca because I don't want to find out what happens if I do.
That is good advice for everybody. And just a side note, you guys, that hold on, I'm sorry, that we have a lot of help for hormones. So whatever your hormone issues are, check with your mentor, because our products, and even some of the products you don't even realize are helping, like the Adaptable has ashwagandha in it. That even helps for hormones. The Soul Clear, which we usually use for allergies, that even helps with hormones. So check with your mentor. We can get you a lot of help for your hormones, okay? These plants are great for hormones. Okay, I think I'm going to change up the order just a little bit because I know Terry is in the middle of another program. So Terry has a couple of things to talk to us about, you guys. She is going to talk to us about Vital, which Valerie mentioned shortly a while ago in our Bella Health package. She's going to tell us her experience with Vital and Soul Clear, one of my all-time favorites. So Terry, take it away, my friend. Let me spotlight you. There you go.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Terry. I've been a Soul specialist for almost 2 years now. And I jumped right into becoming a specialist. Back in 2021, when I started, my doctor for the first time told me that I had high blood pressure. Actually, I had high blood pressure when I was pregnant. And the last few weeks of my pregnancy, I was sent to bed and couldn't get up. But since then, I've had pretty normal blood pressure. But when a year into COVID, here we were in 2021, and all the gyms closed, which meant all the swimming pools closed, the public swimming pools, the gym pools, and swimming is my exercise of choice. I'm somewhat disabled. I have trouble walking. I have several issues when it comes to walking, and so swimming, I'm a really closed. So for a long time, on a regular basis, and so the doctor said, I made her take my blood pressure 3 times because I have also what's called white coat syndrome, where you get in there and into the doctor's office and they're taking your temperature, taking your pulse, taking your blood pressure, doing all that stuff, asking, shooting questions at you, and so you're your blood pressure goes up a little. But after the third time, I think the third time she took it, it was worse than the first time, probably because I was nervous at that point because my blood pressure was up. But so she put me on medication. It wasn't a real strong medication, but I did take it. My husband told me, please take it. I don't want you to have a stroke. So I did. But at about that same time, I was watching Tammy on these lives on Facebook. I think it was mostly Facebook that I found her. And after several times of watching her, I decided to have a conversation with her. And I decided to try some of the products. So one of the first products I tried was Soul Vital. It's a packet and it's a drink. It's powdered in here. You mix it with water. You can mix it in smoothie. You can mix it several different ways. And so I received my product, and this is my problem. I don't take things consistently. If it's not convenient, if it's not a routine and something I do every day, if it's too much trouble, I'm not going to do it consistently. So I was taking my product and I really didn't see a huge result in my blood pressure, but I knew that was my fault because I am not consistent. So I decided to move all of my drinks into the area that I do the same thing every day. So, you take a shower, you sit down at your little seat at the sink, your little vanity chair, and you do your moisturizer, you do your hair, you do your lipstick, you do everything. You do that every single day. And so that's when I became consistent, because part of my routine there became my drinks, also my drinks and all of my capsules. So I take 3 drinks at a time. I take Vital, Cinemate, and Excel every single day. But I really noticed within about 2 weeks of taking Soul Vital, my blood pressure numbers went down. I was able to go half on my blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure was still down. And I was able to go off my blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure stayed down. My doctor was concerned, but she took my blood pressure. My new doctor, I chose a new doctor, and that's a long story. I don't even want to get into that right now. If you want to know, I will tell you. But I chose a doctor who has an MD, but it has a DO after the MD, which means a doctor of osteopath, which means they enjoy herbs, they enjoy acupuncture, they enjoy aromatherapy, and all those other alternative methods of treating issues. So she was very happy with all the herbs that I was taking, but she was concerned about my blood pressure. For several weeks, she did have me take my blood pressure at home with my blood pressure medicine and send her the results. I would take a picture and send it to her. And she hasn't asked for blood pressure in a long time. So she must have been happy with the numbers that I was sending her. So when I became consistent, Soul Vital really helped just within weeks, just within a couple weeks. Soul Vital really did help. So that is why Soul Vital is one of my favorite products. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite product, but I do think that Soul Vital made a huge difference.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I think all of us with Soul think everybody else should be on Vital. But I love hearing the point about being consistent, you guys. This is a product, anything with holistic health, consistency is key. This is not taking an Advil and you get quick results. And this is solving health problems. So, okay, did you want to go ahead and talk to us about Soul Clear?
I will, yeah.
Okay.
So since I had been using Soul products for about a year, I was able to tackle a lot of my health issues. I don't have a lot of mood issues. I don't really experience depression or anxiety. So most of the issues that I was tackling were physical. My blood pressure, my acid reflux, my pain. What else?
Your bones?
My bones, yeah, by strengthening my bones. And so I decided, because I had so much success with these other products, I said, I'm going to finally tackle my allergies. Now I have year-round allergies. They are 365 days. I was taking an over-the-counter like Claritin or Zyrtec, and also Nasonex spray. So how my allergies worked were, if I wasn't taking any medication, my sinuses for a couple nights would drain into my throat, and I would feel a sore throat on one side of my throat, and then on that same side within about a few days, a week maybe, I would get an ear infection. Of course, if you have an ear infection, they want to put you on antibiotics. So that happened all the time. So that's why I was on these fairly mild allergy medications. But I was ready to say, you know what, I don't think I need that anymore. So I decided to try Soulclear. And I decided, everything else, as I've been so successful with all these other Soul products, I'm just going to go cold turkey. It was an over-the-counter medication. The doctor did suggest it, although she didn't prescribe it. So I went off and I started Soulclear. I went from one day having allergy medication to the next day using Soulclear. And I did not feel one difference, which means immediately Soulclear was helping my allergies immediately. From the day I took it, I was amazed that I did not get that sore throat. I did not get that earache. And for about a year now, I've been using Soulclear and have not had an issue. I've not had one issue. Both my husband and I last year got COVID, and I did use a lot of Soulclear and some of the other Soul products to help us get through some of our respiratory issues and flu symptoms. And then last Sunday, this is another thing I know Soulclear helped. I got a terrible itch. It was a reaction probably to a detergent or lotion or soap, something I was using, and it just drove me insane. And so I took my Soulclear in the morning and I started to feel better. And then toward the middle of the day, I'm going to take more Soulclear. And then at night I took more. And by the next day, I did not have an itch. I was not itching like crazy. I don't know what I was itching from, but whatever it was, right then and there, that day, Soulclear helped clear up that allergy of whatever it was that was bothering me.
Thank you, my friend. Can y'all hear me? Yeah? Okay. I don't know why this is. Let's see. Okay. Thank you so much. I just want to say that Soulclear is something that I have everywhere and in go bags. And I even did a little thing on it this week. And I read one of the ingredients in there is a natural narcotic. And it is the only known ingredient that is, and it is not dangerous and it is not toxic. It is also good for pain and inflammation, you guys. We never mention that with Soulclear, but it's even amazing and that came from a study from a doctor. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, Rosa, did Rosa just drop off? Oh, there you are. Oh, okay, good. Hi, my friend. Let's listen to Rosa. I think you guys will love her story. She is a mom that has a special needs child, and she keeps herself going and helps him with Soul. So Rosa, can you share that with us, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Yes, my name is Rosa, and we are a family of four. My youngest, my son is 25, almost 26, and he has Down syndrome. He's nonverbal, and recently, about 5 years ago, he started getting grand mal seizures, which are terrible to watch. After a seizure, he is so exhausted that most of the day he's resting, and he'll just get up a little bit and eat a little something or drink a little something and then go back to sleep. So it really takes a toll on his whole body. But recently that I've learned more about Soul, he's doing a little better. Before I learned about Soul, I was trying to do a lot of research, trying to find out what would be good to help him. Because as moms, what we do is take care of our family, and we want the best for them. So we want to make sure they have good nutrition, well-being. So I was looking for something that could help with the seizures. So I did try CBD oil, and he was taking it, but he was still getting seizures. And I learned that it was more likely because he was not digesting it right. So that was the issue. He's also on medication with the doctor. Recently had to make the dose a little higher. But even with that, he's still getting seizures. So researching takes a long time. Moms are busy. Besides, having a son with special needs, well, at my age, sometimes it's like having a toddler. So, you were busy, and then, you don't have time to research a lot of things. So when I learned about soul, it was just like something so good for us, for the whole family, because with all the experts in soul and the adaptogens and all the formulas made specifically, the right combinations, I didn't have to, learn, okay, which herb is good. Do I buy so many herbs, to help him? And then plus the thing is that he just doesn't, something that doesn't taste good, he's not gonna eat it. I tried before crushing vitamins, putting them in yogurts and different ways to get things into him, but it was hard to be consistent. But with soul, I'm so happy because with the 4 drinks, it's easy. Just put water, the herbs are already there. They benefit him in a lot of ways, so I just put it in water and give it to him, and it tastes so good. So he's able to drink them. So that's the good thing. So what I give him is I give him the Cinnamate, which is to balance the sugars, because I feel like sugars have a lot to do with the seizures. That's my thinking. Also the Vital. I put those together so he can get his trace minerals and oxygen and all that. And plus, I open up a capsule of Neuro IM, which has the 10 mushrooms, and these are very good for the brain. So it doesn't have a taste, so it's easy for me just to put it in there, and he drinks it up. At night, I give him the Soul Renew. This one has the herbs to calm and to have a restful sleep, because in his case, he needs to sleep well, he needs to eat well, he needs to be hydrated. So I have to make sure of all those things for him. So I give him the Renew, plus I add the Vertizines. So I add a Vertizine into his drink, and now I'm gonna start adding the ProBio too. So that's that helps him to rest and recuperate and be able to, benefit. So another thing that I like about Soul Naturals is that the whole family can benefit from taking the supplements. The first time I learned about it, I was actually looking for something to help my husband with anxiety and panic attacks. So as a mom, and most moms do, is we put our health in the back burner because we're helping the family. This way, in the morning, I fix my husband's drink. I fix my son's drink. I take my Cinnamate, also add Neuro. At night, I fix something for my husband to take, and I fix my son's. I'm like, well, I'm fixing theirs, I'm able to take mine, because if I didn't do that, I would forget about myself. But so this has helped me too, because my sugar was going probably, in the wrong direction. And so now I love the Cinnamate, it tastes so good. And so that's why I love Soul Naturals. They have helped our family tremendously. So thank you.
I feel like we should all give her a big round of applause, honestly, because she is just a super mom. I don't know how you tell that story without crying, because I almost cry every time I hear it, but you're awesome. And interestingly, when I first met Rosa, she had other people around her selling a lot of other things. And I'm so thankful that she chose Soul, because I can see that not only has it helped her, but now she's helped so many other people with Soul. And I love that. So I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit about my mom's experience. My mom has always suffered from a lot of pain. Several years back, they did diagnose her with fibromyalgia, and just recently with RA, with rheumatoid arthritis, which explains a lot because her mom even had like 4 or 5 back fusions and just so many different things, and even died of some autoimmune disease they never could quite pinpoint. But my mom has just struggled with pain for years, and my mom is not an amazing client. So when I started Soul, finally I called her up, and I do hair. My hair salon was upstairs, and one day I watched my mom walk up the stairs holding the staircase to get up. And my mom's at that point was probably only, let me think, 65, let's say. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sending you all these products. You have to take these products because I can't push you in a wheelchair. So she started taking them, and she did really good. She immediately got relief, But like most of us, and including myself, it took me a year before I started getting consistent, like what Terry said. She would just not stay on it super consistently. She doesn't like taking pills. She doesn't like drinking drinks. So this is a story that comes all the way up to just about 2 months ago. She called me up one day and she's like, okay, make me a program. I can hardly get out of this chair. I can hardly walk. And so things had gotten better, and that's when she had just gotten diagnosed with the RA. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm calling you every day. The great thing about Soul Naturals is it's buildable. You can build on it. There's what's called your regular maintenance dose, and then there's a therapeutic dose. My mom had not been taking her maintenance dose. She had not been keeping up with it. And now she was so bad, we needed to jump to therapeutic. So I laid it out for her. I called her every day. Okay, it's time to take your Flex PI, your Vertizymes, and your Adaptable. And you guys, I was having her take, like, I would say 3 times a day with 2 Vertizymes and 1 Adaptable and 2 NeuroIMs. Then I was having her drink Infatuate. I was having her take Vital and Cinemate and the Soul Royal, our collagen enhancer. So much in there that helps with pain and inflammation. I had her on a strict schedule all day long. Do you know, after 3 days of that, she got so much better. So if pain and inflammation is on your radar, fibromyalgia, I'm going to tell you, I can speak to that condition specifically, that I have seen it help with someone that felt hopeless. My friend Michelle, that started me on Soul Naturals, she said she could imagine you just cutting off her arms. They hurt so bad. She's like, I would just get so much relief, until she found Soul Naturals. So this is almost, I mean, the more I talk about Soul and teach about Soul, so many products affect your pain and inflammation, because that's a sign your body is out of whack. It's out of balance. When you naturally start getting your body where it wants to be, which is balanced, a lot of those things will start clearing up, because that's a sign of imbalance. When you start getting balanced, a lot of these herbs are naturally working towards that. Your pain and inflammation will get so much better. Side note, my pain and inflammation had gotten really bad. And one thing I've started doing is every morning having my Cinemate, 2 of the Neuros, which are the mushroom, and 4 to 5 of the Soul Clears. I am not in pain. So I do that morning and night with the Soul Clear. Our products are just going to help with your pain and inflammation. So if that's your issue, your loved one's issue, please reach out to your mentor. Okay. Okay, our last person, I believe, right? We go back to Val, and Val's going to talk to us about the Bella Health Package. It's hard to know where to start, because when you start listening to any of us, you think, I need that, and I need that, and I need that. So Val's going to tell us kind of where to start, so you don't feel overwhelmed, you guys. Okay. Val, take it away for us, my friend.
All right. So when we started Soul 11 years ago, and as you've heard, I was with the company before we even launched the first product. We only had 6 products. 4 of those products are put together in what we call the Bella Health package. And through all those years using that, because at first it's what we had, I started seeing remarkable results across the board with all these different issues. And I started realizing how well this package addressed gut health. And if we think about it, gut health directly impacts everything going on in the body. So kind of a fun side note, I'm going to challenge you guys when we're done with this to look in the mirror or pull up the phone and take a picture of your tongue stuck out. If you see a crack down the middle of your tongue, you've got gut issues. And so a lot of people have fun with that. I'll do that in classes, have people stick their tongues out and look at each other to see that. But I want to talk about the 4 products that are in the Bella Health program. Vital, we've heard about, and the amazing testimony about how it helped with blood pressure. But Vital, I have found that it addresses something called the sodium potassium pump in the body, which means in most basic terms that when this is out of balance, it doesn't matter whether it's good nutrition, your medication, your supplements, anything, it can't get into the cell and the trash can't go out. Well, Vital helps to balance that. So now all of a sudden the nutrition can go in and the trash can go out. Very, very important for allowing that inflammation to leave. So that is one of the reasons I love Vital as my foundational approach when it comes to inflammation. So it makes sense for this to be in that package because we want this nutrition to go in. Next thing I like to use is the Cinnamate. Yes, it balances blood sugars, but it's also remarkably powerful for uplifting the digestive tract, and it has at least 200 known nutrients, minerals, vitamins, cofactors, all kinds of things like this that help bring that dense nutrition into the body. And we need nutrition at this most basic cellular level to help the body to move forward with its health. And now we have something from the red category. Another reason I like this program is we have something in it from all 4 categories. Then we have the Verdazymes in it, which is in the calm category. And we heard about that from Helen, how it helped with sleep and helped her with anxiety. Well, it does. It helps calm digestion. It also helps the brain to settle down. And it also helps with the minerals from both the Vital coming in and then what the minerals are in some of the plants we have in that formula to activate as catalysts for the enzymes to help the digestive process. And we take it also on empty stomach before bed, which means it's going to go in and work on toxins in the system that hadn't been addressed throughout the day because now the food's moved on, or maybe food that someone was having hang around longer than it should, it starts to address that. The 4th and final product that is in the Bella Health package, we haven't talked about, and it's called ProBio IQ. And having been in eating well and my family's diet being changed when I was 14, I, unlike Tammy, wasn't hardly ever on any medications. So probiotics, we always hear about, go for it, especially if you've had any type of medications. Well, I could never tell a difference whenever I would use probiotics until this formula. And I could tell very quickly what it did for my brain health because we have certain strains of probiotics in there that, in a nutshell, when we are growing in utero in the body, the system, the enteric nervous system and enteric system and the nervous system, they split. One goes up here into the brain, one stays in the gut. And when the gut is out of balance, the brain does not function properly. It also impacts your immune system. So we want good strains of probiotics that's going to support all of this. And so some of you probably remember the old Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now? Well, when we're off, the brain doesn't function properly. Well, what I saw was with these probiotics, along with a couple plants we added in there for connection to the brain, that the brain became spot on, that I found areas, and I had a specific area in my colon that had bothered me ever since my eldest was born. That disappeared. Well, when we put all these together, we started seeing dramatic turnarounds in health and consistency. I always challenge people to be on it for 3 months. And then, they can determine, lots of people stay on this because you're working at that root. But so if you're wondering where to start, starting at the gut is always a phenomenal place to go. And then you can also add in, okay, say maybe you're got excited about, wanting to do something to support the joints and you want to add in the Soul Royal, or maybe there's issues with brain function that you're started stumbling in, or you have some hormone issues, throw in that Soul Maca. But by having that base program with the Bella Health, I always tell people, put those basics in and then add your +1 or your +2. But remember, there's an adaptogen in every single one of our products. So when people call me and they said, what is this? I have energy and I'm happy and I feel better. I said, that's what adaptogens do. And what happens when you take out the trash.
Well, I have been listening to you for 1,000 years and just learned something new again about the brain splitting. Never knew
Mhm.
that. That is incredible.
Mhm.
And about the whole taking out the trash thing. I don't think I knew that either, Val. So thank you so much. Okay, so thank you everyone that was on. I wanted to let everybody know that there is a great special. If I'm sure your mentor has told you, but until the end of this month, our Share the Wealth program, which is usually only $10, is $20 right now. So if you are new to Soul and you sign up and spend $65, you're going to get $20 off. Your mentor has a code for you to have $20 off. That's pretty incredible. Remember, it's usually $10. Now, if you are already Love Soul, then you can give your code to somebody that needs Soul. We all know somebody that needs Soul. They're going to get the $20 off of that $65. And as a thank you, you're going to get $20 in your rewards bank to use on your products. So if you guys know anybody that needs Soul, share this with them, because emotional, physical health is something that is just needing attention right now. And people that have used Western meds, that are on Western meds, they still need help with what God gave us, which is the plants to help our bodies do what it's supposed to do. Remember also that your mentor has a personal assessment on their site, which is pretty insightful. You answer 30 questions. It will give you 10 recommendations from Soul. Soul just takes like what you have answered and says, okay, it looks like you need this, and it looks like you need this. And then it is our job as mentors to help coach you to what you need most. Maybe you start with a Bella package, but it looks like you really need help also with pain and inflammation. So let's add the Flex PI, or let's add the NeuroIM. So take that on your mentors page. You can get that from whoever. I think that's it. We're going to try to start doing these regularly, you guys. So it'll be a place for you to bring people, for us to bring people, and it'll be a place for us to learn. So thank you so much to the presenters. You've made it so special. And thank you so much. Thank you too. And thank you so much for everybody that joined. I do have breakout rooms open. If anybody wants to go to the breakout rooms, they can. If you want to stay here for a Q&A, you can do that as well. If you're going to go into a breakout room, just maybe unmute yourself and let your mentor know you would like to meet them over there. There's not too many of us on, but if you do have any questions, you can raise your hand now and you want to stay in the main room, feel free. No questions? Any breakout rooms? Maria, did you have a question, dear? No? Okay. Sedaria, hi, my friend. Okay, you guys, if nobody's going to breakout rooms and nobody's asking questions, I think I'll end the meeting. And if not, you know who your mentor is, reach out to them. We love to help people. I'm going to just tell you, in the beginning, when I found Soul, I was like, no way, not doing another company. I'm out. I went to my first summit just 3 months after I really started selling it. And I was so impressed, because even the president was like, we don't sell, we share. And helping people that need help is what our mission is, and that's what we're here to do. So I hope you felt that today, and I hope you feel that with your mentor as well. You guys have a great day, okay? Mwah. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.